Hello, space engineers. Doing a follow-up video today about armor fill. In the last video, we talked about using paint gun to paint the outside of a hull import black, leaving the inside white, so you can very easily then go through and delete the blacks you don't want. In actual practice, it has occurred to me that you can delete both the white and the black in separate hulls. Leaving the white behind gives you what I call fill. You can use it to fill the interior of the ship back in. So this grid right here, I've got named painted. This is the one very similar to the example, white on the inside, black on the outside. This grid is hollowed out. And what I did was delete all the white blocks. All right. These grids up here have the white blocks remaining, but have deleted all of the black. Why would you do this? Well, for example, if I wanted to do interior thrusters, these are ion thrusters, you can lay them all in where you want them to go, and then project the fill back into the ship so that it lines up. It will not be able to project over these blocks that already exist, so you would just then fill in around them automatically. You don't have to worry about cutting them out. You don't have to worry about where is the wall. The outside wall is right there. If I delete that block, I'll have to put it back, right? Takes all the guesswork away. Very easily lay out the interior very quickly. You can see how far every block is from the exterior of the skin and those sorts of things. And you can do walkways here. You can't hardly see it, but I've got light armor plates, panels, right? Same thing. It won't be able to project in over the panel, so I've got a really inexpensive walkway to get back here and work on these thrusters. You do the whole interior of your ship, you project it back in. So coming back up here to look, this one on the left is armor, right? These are just the light blocks. And again, you can convert light to heavy, you can convert to titanium, whatever you need to do, right? There are many ways to do it. I can help you with that if you need. But these are just armor blocks. You could, of course, leave them light. You could do titanium on the outside and light armor on the inside if you wanted to. These are sci-fi interior walls. Now, why would you choose this? Well, just like the interior blocks, these are all airtight. They have a binding on all 6 sides, so they'll stick the ship together, even if it starts to get holes knocked in it. But they are much lighter, and one of the least expensive ways you can do this. And I'll show you in a minute the size and the costs for both of these. Uh, if you want the ship to be more walkable, similar in cost and weight, are scaffolding blocks. And you can't quite walk these. I mean, you can like at an angle. So you could leave the entire ship just sort of Jeffrey's tube style, if you will, where you can walk the whole thing on these angles by filling it with scaffold. That's obviously not airtight, um, but it weighs similar to the interior and costs similar as well. So that might be an option. Maybe you mix and match, do hallways out of scaffold and interior plate for everything else. Or you just go with armor, or you just go with the most expensive armor because you're flooded with materials and you're building a warship and you want it to be as tough as possible. In all 3 scenarios, whatever you fill it with, you still can fill in the empty ship first and then project it back in. All right, so as mentioned, we're going to take a look at the costs. Here's the full-on ship that's just painted. You can see it weighs 3.4 and would take about 5 million iron ore. I got a little silicon here because I've got a control panel on the nose. The skin itself is weighing at 1.3, 2 million iron ore. The armor fill, it's 2, right? So hopefully 1.3 and 2.08, whatever, get us to the 3.4 originally, but this is 3 million iron ore. The interior fill, as I mentioned, is quite a bit cheaper than the armor fill. We're at less than 1 million iron ore. And you look at the mass is 644. It's half the mass, which means less thrust, more performance, all of that sort of thing. The scaffolding is just slightly heavier than the interior fill and costs just a hair more, but it's walkable. So depending whether you prefer airtight and cheap or walkable and still reasonably cheap, those are your two options for that. Um, as always, I'm around. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, needs help with this sort of thing, hit me up. You can leave a comment on the YouTube video. You can hit me up on Discord. Um, anything you like. And I appreciate your time. If there's more to add to this topic, I'll be making another video. Thanks.